All right, someone just in the comments section put the word Joe Padner and question mark. All right, let me tell you about Joe Padner. There are people like Joe Padner in the world. After you do something, you like say in my case, I've been stretching shrink tubing for years, and I think, oh, if I'm stretching shrink tubing to make it fit, let me show other people that have never done that. There's people that know how to stretch it. They know they can stretch it, just like I do. And I grabbed my pair of pliers and I put the piece of tubing on, and right away someone didn't like the way I did it. And I said, "Where's your videos?" Well, he can't. He doesn't know how to edit. Well, maybe you should go learn how to edit. See, I push myself into different places, and then in my case, when I needed a piece of tubing, I had the famous pliers, and I bought these when I was 14 years old at Berger Electronics with my maybe my Halloween money. They used to give you money for Halloween. Yeah, and my dad said to them, "They're crappy pliers. That the finish is terrible on them." But here they are, 60 years later. Yeah. But anyway, back to Joe Padner. Joe Padner was the guy that always gave you the answer to the problem the day after. And he'd make believe, "Oh, I knew that. You didn't know that." That's his game. Joe Padner's job in RCA was he had this shelf. He put a box of tubes on the shelf. He'd push a button. The shelf would go up, zzz, 6 feet in the air. Hit another button, it would drop down and hit. He would then give the box to the girl. She would take them out and they go back and get tested for heater to cathode shorts. Padner didn't even know that's what he was doing. See, a tube should be able to handle a certain amount of shock without the cathode and the filament, which is the heater, getting a short. Certain models, 6GHH, I think they were terrible with shorts. But anyway, but Padner, he had he was a dummy. His brain was burned out from alcohol. He was always drunk, but he knew everything. And when I first got a job there, and the first experience I had with him, he comes up and he starts like talking to other people in the room rather than to me directly. "So, how's this kid doing?" That kind of shit. And then as you get to know him, you know what a dummy is. And then some of the girls come over and they say, "He's basically a country lawyer. He knows everything about everything." Uh, it's just, so after a while, it becomes laughable. And you figure out problems. I'm the new kid. I'm figuring out all these problems the other guys can't figure out. And they make some comment. He's like, "Oh, I knew that. You didn't know that." And then one day, what he would do is he'd go read an article and go really deep into the article, then come up and lure me into that subject. And the engineer, Kenny, privied me to that. He goes, "Yeah," he goes and reads an article. And he goes a little further than the average person. And then he comes up, he just read it. He lures you into a conversation about that article. And then he knows more than you do because he just read the article. So even if you read it, you're not going to retain it as good. And he'd pull you in, and then he would dance off. He had these Florsheim shoes. He was chubby, a big square head. If you want to know exactly what he looked like, on Archie's place, the bartender, Archie's friend, that's exactly what he looked like. The big square head. Anyway, that's what he looked like. But he would get you to the point where go, "I thought you knew everything," and then he would dance off. And we'd all chuckle because he had the dumbest job in the place. He didn't pack the tubes up into the box. The girl gave him the tubes. He placed them on a shelf. He hit one button. It would go up. Hit another button. It would release it. It would hit down. He'd give the box back to the girl, and she would test for heater to cathode shorts. That's when I tell people, you want to nitpick with me, I'm telling you, I'm showing you what I do in a repair. I realized the shrink tubing, you can stretch it out a little bit. And I picked up the pliers and you got to show them how to do it. Well, this guy didn't like my pliers. He's a nitpicker. He's a Joe Padner. That's what he is. So I said to him, "What maybe you should do a video." "Well, I don't know how to edit." "Well, maybe you should go learn. Before you." And what's funny thing about it is people that have good videos and a lot of videos, on YouTube will never come over and make a comment about your videos. They know it's required. They know that the windows could cut out and you lose the video. They know your power could fail. There's so many things that go wrong to get to the point where you do the video. And then content. Some people, the cat videos, they do really good. Cat has sweet meow. Meow. 1 million hits. 1 million. I'm busting my ass. I'm going to show you how to stretch shrink tube. And I got some Padner out there floating around. Those pliers were too blunt. The whole idea was you can stretch shrink tubing. That was the video. You could shrink it. It's a trick. Oh, you used the wrong pliers. Yeah, Padner, I used the wrong pliers. Where's your video? Oh, I don't know how to edit. So anyway, I just want to tell you, that's who Joe Padner was. He was the lowest of low. He had to have a Cadillac. And he lived in Newark, New Jersey. And I can't say anything more because it would sound like I'm not being prejudiced, but he was. And he was just, oh my God, he was bad news. But he was always drunk. And he fried his brain. Or maybe he was always that stupid. I don't know. But we figured it was from the alcohol. But we would have a major problem. And then I would fix it. And then he was there the whole time. And the next day he would come. He knew how we fixed it. And then he goes, you didn't know that? We knew he didn't know. He wanted to be somebody, and he wasn't. And a lot of us aren't anybody in life. There's always somebody smarter. But he didn't like that. He didn't like that anybody was smarter than him. And it is what it is. But in the view of the camera now, one of you might be going, what the hell is that? All right, the thing on the top is those pliers are for operating inside the human ear. And you're like, no way. Oh, yeah. Look. See? When I move it in and out, notice that little beak on the end? So when you operate inside the human ear, you got to go into the head, right? There it is. Now, what do I use it for? It's a retrieval tool. Like I said, I can't tell you how many times a person brought a VCR to me and one of the bolts was loose because a person may believe they could fix the VCR. And that's one of my retrieval tools. Now this, you might not know what this is. This is a ratchet, a Phillips. I have a whole set of these. This is a right angle ratchet, and you control this lever here, and it changes the direction. All right, these come in handy a lot of times. They get you out of messes you can't believe. But I think that's it. I just want to tell you that's the Padner guy. And if you want to know what he looked like, go on Archie's place, Archie Bunker's place, not the Archie Bunker show. I think he's in almost every episode. He's the guy, Archie's friend, not the guy that goes in partner with him. The other guy, he's got the big square head with the black hair. I think that's it. All right, that's it.